Quer aprender a tocar guitarra muito bem, igual seus guitarristas preferidos? Esse cara é um dos melhores guitarristas do Brasil e tem um método pronto que com certeza pode te ajudar a se expressar na guitarra como você nunca imaginou. E se você não gostar, tem até 7 dias para pedir seu dinheiro de volta. Confere o primeiro link da descrição e comece ainda hoje.
And all that, so.
Flea described you in an interview I watched, again, thank you internet, as a survivor.
Right. I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Aren't we all? I mean, it's...
Yeah, if we're here, I guess so. By our very nature, we have to be, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I think in that particular case, he was obviously referring to some traumatic situations which you'd come through the other side of, and other people who are born with the same opportunities to live and breathe and make a life for themselves don't.
Yeah. Well, Flea is also a survivor. So maybe he was just reflecting that back. He has told me on occasion, like, if you're on an airplane that crashes in the Pacific,
okay.
they'll find you floating on a piece of wing somewhere. But, you know, he and I grew up in a world where we did not have totally present parents and guides, you know, kind of like we're trying to do for our kids now. Flip that script a little bit. So he and I really did have to survive on a day-to-day basis, which is a wonderful thing in hindsight because it brought us together and it really gave us a vibrancy towards life that was hugely important to being little punk rockers that started a band.
Yeah.
Really, like, that was the crux of everything, was just, you know, how do we eat today?
Yeah.
Where are we going to sleep tonight? You know, how come there's no door on our apartment? You know, it really makes you bond for life. But it's nice of him to think of me as a survivor and to recognize things about his bandmates. And
Oh, I love that you recognize the same in him, and yet it's what's really fascinating about this kind of like lifelong friendship, which is at the center of all things Chili Peppers. I mean, if that stops, it's done. You know, it's like, and I think you could say the same about Chad now. I mean, you can't go on without Chad, in my opinion, as a fan. Maybe you could, but you two, maybe you could.
no,
You couldn't.
No, I don't even want to think about that.
But you two, and here's the crazy thing is I just feel like over time, you've learned to accept your differences as being as just being greatness. Like that's we don't have to be bonded in every way. We don't have to agree on everything. The things that can break up bands, I mean, you seem to have actually celebrated.
On a good day. On a good day. We still have all kinds of days where we look at each other like, what is wrong with you?
I don't know you at all.
Yeah, we're just like, how could you say that? But John said the smartest thing to me ever a year ago, which just completely floored me. And I can't say that we all adhere to it. I can't even say that John adheres to it, but he's aware of it. So on a good day, someone in the band was just bugging the shit out of me, driving me crazy. And John said to me, you know, it's those very things that bug the shit out of you that makes that person as amazing as they are. That's why they're amazing, because they have these flaws that make them crazy, and that's why you love them, because it's part of the whole picture. He said it more eloquently, but I got the idea. I was like, it is those very things that drive me crazy that make that person work the extra 8 hours doing what they love to do. It makes them great. And then I thought, the same is true about John, and the same is true about Flea, and the same is true about Chad, and probably, you know, myself for them. So yeah, we do accept each other, and we do love each other, and there is an endless friendship going on there, which is not to say that we want to hang out every day, but it never dies, you know, and it's nice to go away from it and come back to it, go away from it, come back to it. But I admire them all. And now that John gave me that little touchstone of like, every time someone's like annoying you, remember that's part of why you're attracted to them and what makes them them.